Hello and welcome. My name is April. Thanks for joining me here. I'm a mess. Let's see. On my channel where I channel. Hello. So I had started a message. This is going to be a second take. I got a phone call. Important phone call. I may get another important phone call. Have to do it again. Because I don't know how to edit. Hi, my name is April, and I don't know how to edit. On the last message, the inner child wanted to talk about a victimization thread and where that went to. How you were feeling hunted in your life, where you are still expressing the traumas of your lower chakra in your reality that is creating your connection to God to be inverted. It was something about a tower moment and divinity, like the 9 and the 7 were both there. We have the orphan showing. This deck is representing the inner child for me, for us, for the collective. How can I present a message for the collective? Excuse me. In regards to the aspect of their being that is longing for attention. This deck's a little sticky. I don't have very much incense left. The whole thing burnt out while I was on the phone. We're okay though. Everything's all right. No need to worry. And there we go. We got the orphan coming out again and the shadow. Okay, this is great. So the orphan is a number 5. Feelings of abandonment, feelings of isolation, feelings of being encased in constricting energy, with love being out of reach. It comes with the shadow. So here we go with the plays on light and dark. We have a little tiny bit of light coming into the arm. Very tiny bit of light. We have, which is represented here with the light. Then we have the gray area, and like this is all the gray area. And then we have the deep dark, which is the ring around the outside. We do have a little tiny vibrant color of hope or possibility with the flower. It is open, so it is a piece of expanded consciousness asking for attention. We have the number 5. We have the number 28. So that together this is a 15. This piece of abandonment within self, or actually being orphaned. The shadow of this is creating a toxic 15, the devil, the toxic patterning with inside the inner child. The inner child is asking you to look deep to uncover the shadow of abandonment, isolation, fear, being unloved, feelings of resentment, hatred, confusion, feelings of separation, longing, disbelief, disheartening feelings of loneliness, sadness, guilt leading to ashamedness, or feelings of shame. Ashamed and shame are two different feelings. You feel ashamed through the guilt, and you are shamed for, you live in shame for not being good enough, for the ones that you were birthed into. Now remember, we create these stories to grow. We were not abandoned on... We were abandoned from our birth parents, if that's the case, because in our contracts, each, the parent and the child, needed to learn this self-love, overcoming an abandoned feeling. So I know two... I know two males that are abandoned or orphaned. Sorry, I know two males that are orphaned, and I know one female that is orphaned, and that's been a big process in my life, where these orphans flock to me. I don't know out of in life how many people actually get orphaned. I don't know a statistic. Yeah, forget it. Statistic. It's is that how you say it? Did that come out right that time? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There's a few words that I do trip on. Anyways, this wound goes back to the beginning, goes back to infancy. This shadow wound created in your unconscious mind, in your subconscious programming, unconscious programming, is one aspect of the masculine, please. One aspect of the masculine, helping to the story of the orphan. Wish, 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 wish. One card only, please. What can the masculine offer? What can the masculine offer? Okay, so this is 28 and 5 equaling 32. And now we have a repeat number. Recognition and reward, and the spiritual union for 32. Okay, I'm gonna... So once we realize this shadow of abandonment, of whatever, all the things that I said, all the things, we are going to be rewarded for the work we did on repairing this with inside our own psyche. We are going to be elevated onto the platform and initiated by the light. And we are going to be able to come into spiritual union. Now, first it has to happen within, and then you can attract it from the exterior. So first you create this inside your own self. 32, 32. So let's see what else we can say about this. This has taken many tries. We have 4 mountains here. With each of the mountains, okay, so we have a set of 2 mountains with a path, and we have a set of 2 mountains with a path. But if you see behind here, We have two light paths also that were in between these sets of mountains. So it looks like we've chosen to take the lighted path. And then that leads to an infinite well of love, an infinite cup of love, a partnership unlike you've never had before, one that is rooted in growth and shine and gold, one that brings the third and the fourth chakra into alignment. This is bringing your head, your root and your head together through other things also, being grounded. This almost looks like when you're knighted, like rewarded, when you're knighted with by the queen. I want to say by the queen. Sorry, I'm a mess today. I had to wake up at like a ridiculous hour to get the boy off to school. Everything worked out in the end, but there was a moment there where it looked shady. This is a feminine aspect. Can I have what the feminine would like to contribute? So the masculine aspect is in line with trying to sort out this shadow. The masculine aspect is coming up with the same numerology. So if we want to get into the 32 is a 5-5, and this is a 10-5, which is a double up, or and then we have 3-2, which is like learning to be the body, mind, and spirit so you can come into the union, the Trinity and the union. I don't know who just tried, like, the wind just tried to open my back door, but it's not even windy outside. Unless they opened a window upstairs and the pressure changed in the house. Okay, so the feminine came through with a major arcana of observe. Now here we have the connection to the golden rainbow. This came out in my reading the other day. The golden rainbow connection is all of your chakras in line and in sync with God, bringing you back to the purity of who you are. And then we have this symbol on the vest here, which is like a trinity, mind, body, spirit, or however you see the trinity. This is coming in with observing in all the seasons of the life, looking up, like understanding that your connection comes from the divine. And then we have 8 of Cups, walking away from everything that was creating this shadowy aspect so that we can come into the truth of our love. So this is a 3, and this is a 3. And then these are both the suits of cups. So this is a very emotional process. This process, this 38 comes into an 11, which is mastery. So we're mastering how to observe ourselves, take the next step into the 13 frequency. This is the masculine energy. The 13 frequency is the feminine energy. So we can come into the union. The next step is the Death card, which in this deck, I believe, is transformation. No, I'm wrong. Oh, release. And that's releasing the shadow. That dark suit of untruth. What else do we got here? Mastery, self-mastery, 32. 32 things have to change to be able to enter into self-mastery. 66, no, 33. 33. I don't really have an information on what 33 means to me. I don't focus on that number too much. But I have a 28, and then an 8 and a 2, an 82. So this is a mirror. Who is trying to be your mirror so you can see that you're entangled in this cycle that could be creating poison within your reality without even knowing it, because it comes from a deep unconscious or subconscious program. Now, can we see what shadow this is creating? This deck is representative of the shadow in my world. Coming with an unconscious and a subconscious part and a conscious part. It's the back of the deck is actually, I go like this. If it comes out in color, it's a conscious programming. If it comes in color but upside down, it's a conscious programming that we have witnessed. If it comes out in black and white, it's a subconscious programming. And if it comes out in black and white but upside down, it's an unconscious program that we have yet to witness. We have strength in the shadow coming out. Shadow, which is the moon. This is not a moon card. It's not the same number, but can I see what shadow this abandonment orphan wound is creating inside? What needs to be observed? It could the truth in the subconscious. You have a subconscious belief that you're not worth anything. Coming back to worthiness. You're not worth this love. Now we have 3, 2, 1. Like we're going backwards. It's 5. I don't have a 4. 3, 2, 1. Like the process is going backwards. Instead of moving forward in your process, you may feel like you're going in the wrong direction. If that is the case, you have to sit. This is about how you take action. We have the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands, both in the conscious mind. You're trying to take a different action towards a different outcome. You're trying to be the pillar of the community. You're trying to observe where You are playing out a shadow pattern, and you're trying to walk away from those cycles, but deep down, you're not getting far enough into the process of releasing yourself from the burden of carrying this truth that you were made to believe about yourself by another person, or just allowed yourself to believe something because it was over. We ran into failure over and over and over and over. So therefore we thought our truth was that we would never amount to anything. And this is running quietly in the subconscious mind. And you are going to have to observe it at every season of your life. As soon as we can flip it into the conscious mind, do you see that it's all about intuition? It's all about speaking your truth. And see over here, it doesn't even look like those wings can fly. But over here we have some substance where we can take off. We can get lift off. We can gain a higher perspective. Is there anything else that wants to come out on here? Yes. And what deck would that be from? Really? My personal deck. I'm going to move that on that side because that goes 3, 2, 1. So if you look around on in your own life, you'll start to see these numbers that play in your psyche. Like 3, 3. That's like two things. The feminine aspect and the masculine aspect are in line. And now that I look at it on the table, it does say 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So it's even bigger than I first thought, right? Because it's going forward and then doubting yourself and traveling backward again. And then the mirror, 28 and 82, like we have to witness something we don't like inside another person to even realize that we have that same quality inside ourselves. Penelope, oh my god, it's 28. I can't make this shit up, man. We have Penelope Dreamweaver. Number 28. Okay, just let me get the book because my brain doesn't retain the decks anymore. I can intuitively understand the card based on the artwork, but I cannot remember the book. I had an injury where my brain doesn't work the same now. Double whiplash. I got laid out in yoga. Got double whiplash. My brain doesn't work the same. Even though I'm not stoned anymore, it just doesn't want to work. Inspiration, magical dreams, and visions. The muse of artistic inspiration. tapestries in the mind with threads of light. So this is overriding those shadows with a new program. Light, color, and sound. So you can use whatever kind of therapy you want to reprogram your mind. When she comes to us in dreams, we awaken under her enchantment and rush for our paints or clay or other forms of expression. In this painting, Brian has shown us Penelope, his own inspiration fairy. But we each have But we each have okay, I'm skipping that. It doesn't make sense in my mind, and I can't read it because it doesn't make sense. Who is willing to help us, mine says, to call her Grace, because she says she isn't exactly someone I deserve, just someone I'm lucky enough to have in life. So what's your fairy called? She plays hard at inspiring me, as does Penelope for Brian. Can I get somewhere where it's not just about these two? Inspiration fairies like their jobs, but they get really bored when people don't pay attention to them. Then they sit around and file their fingernails while they think troublesome and mischievous thoughts. Sometimes they are exasperated enough to send us nightmares in an attempt to get us to wake up. These fairies and their sisters, the fairies of expression, work together as a team, helping us in our creative endeavors. The fairies of inspiration sprinkle us with special inspirational fairy dust so that we can come up with ideas rather than fertilizing a plant. And you know what plants are fertilized with, Grace says. You gotta dig through the shit. If it's at the starting of a reading, and I'm only taking the one card, so that does apply, seek visions and inspiration. Be aware that there are often subtle and shit. This is why sometimes I can't read from the book. I can't even speak right now. I'm gonna leave it in because nobody gets this far in the video anyway. I can see you all clicking off at 30 seconds. Well, you ain't though. One day, my information's going to be valuable. Just wait patiently for that day. Woo! Okay. So, if your awareness comes to you when you're in the bath, washing the dishes, driving the car, or anywhere else that your mind is half occupied and running half idle, pay attention to those unsought inspirations at that time. or at this time. So whatever comes to you when you're like already doing something, those are the things that these fairies are trying to get you to uncover in your shadow. Again, the door. God. But they have something wonderful to offer you, but it is up to you to catch them and to bring them into reality. Number 28. So now we have 10, 10, 10. And then we have 6, 11, 12. 3, 3 for 6, 5, and 1 for 12. This is Brian Ferry's, and it's a beautiful book, but it's very tongue twistery for me. Very, very tongue twistery for me. But pay attention to when you're seeing the number 28. Pay attention when you're seeing the number 82. Pay a special attention if you see stuff that is what you would consider a shadow or a light. I don't know why it sounds like everything's trying to bust into my house all around here. You may want to go walk by the water to release, ask the whatever, river, sea, stream, ocean, wherever you are, to draw out your unexpressed emotional hidden aspects. Draw them to the surface so that you can figure out how to process them in a way that brings you reward. But you have to look at them. We have feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine. So we're in equal parts here. And then that truth is just a bug. It's a pest. That truth, that nasty truth, that's not even correct. Thank you. I stand in the truth of my light, and I stand beside the one known as God. I allow my rainbow connection to be purified in God's truth. To bring an expanded consciousness to places that I may still be operating in an abandoned dark state. I don't know. Goosebumps. Get your feet in some sand. I always say that this sand this is footsteps too, like, I know it only shows one set of footsteps instead of the two set of footsteps that are in the poem footsteps, but it's showing itself on the page. Sit with the understanding of what is the Trinity for you. Try to figure out where you are in cycles of self destruction. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Man. I use rainforest incense today. You might want to find a meditation music that is the rainforest to, like, bring your mental state into, well, gamma, beta. Where you can imagine yourself being in this thicket of forest, where you can connect in to the above and of the below space and call in that light, both of these ones. It's trying to give you your willpower back. It's trying to give you your sacral back. That's a mix of both. Your creative power. This is an 8-card spread today. The year of the 8, 28, 28, 28, 888. And then I got 2, 2, 2, 2, even though there's other numbers. And then 3, 3. So same as the other day. The other day we were moving out of the 2 and into the 3. I'm posting this on Healer 1 today. So this is mimicking and mirroring. Oh, it's different yet the same. Sorry, it's not mimicking or mirroring, I got told. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the ways you engage. It has been my pleasure to read this shadowy light energy, and I hope to see you in the future.